Hello, my kitty patooties, and welcome to Frickin'. We are here live with my Twitch. Twitch, would you like to say hello to the YouTube gang? We are going to be listening to a song called Break the Silence, and this is by Nevertel and Sleep Theory. Before we jump into this, though, just a friendly reminder to please like and subscribe. And with that said, oh, that's cool. Both of the full bands, it looks like.
I've been so locked up in my head, but I ain't talking. Stalling, my life been on repeat, look what I'm causing. Funny how I'm painting the picture, keeping up the peace like I've been holding the trigger. Holding on the words that they keep making me sicker. Instead of fixing problems, only making them bigger. So what's it gonna take if the damn breaks? We can't keep it in place with the floodgates. Trying to keep it inside just to save face, but it's a bit too late. If I could break the silence and throw it away, I'd cut you down to pieces with all I could say and leave you lost with nothing. Whatever it takes just to end this. If I could break the silence. Why are we
Our boy from Sleep Theory is about to come in, but before we do, it looks like they're having band members from both bands. It's not just like because a lot of times when you have a collaboration between two bands, you kind of just take like the lead singer and then that's the collaboration. But it looks like, at least it looks like they're taking like both of the drummers are coming and working together, and both like it just looks like it's like a big band party collaboration, which is really cool. Looking at the lyrics, I've been so locked up in my head, but I ain't talking, stalling, my life been on repeat, look what I'm causing. So obviously we do have it looks like there's two vocalists from Nevertel. So we have the rapper and the person that does the clean vocals, which is an interesting combination. And then obviously we're gonna have we have vocalists. I don't know if all the vocalists, I'm assuming that all the vocalists from Sleep Theory will probably come over and do some parts, but this is pretty cool that it's gonna be that mix of rap and other, you know, whether it's clean vocals, harsh vocals, etc. If I could break the silence and throw it away, I'd cut you down to pieces with all I could say and leave you lost without nothing, whatever it takes, just to end this if I could break the silence. So it sounds like it's kind of, you're in some sort of relationship. Again, not necessarily romantic. It could be platonic. It could be familial, but it's kind of like you're stuck in this. It's kind of like you're frozen. You're like, because you can have these, it's not necessarily flight or fight, but it's like, I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's, there's also another mode that you can get into when you're in a either traumatic or stressful situation where you can freeze. And it kind of sounds like they're in this freeze mode where it's like, if I could break the silence, I would say everything like everything I need to say. I would, when he says, I'd cut you down to pieces with all I could say, it's kind of like, I would hold you accountable for everything and leave you lost without nothing. Be like, I just lay it all out there. If I could break the silence, I would do X, Y, and Z if I could break myself out of this mode that I'm in, you know? Let's continue this. And I'm kind of curious if they're going to bring all of the vocalists from Sleep Theory in. That vocal distortion's pretty fun.
gonna take if the dam breaks? You can't keep it in place with the floodgates. Try to keep it inside just to save face, but it's a bit too late. If I could break the silence and throw it away, I'd cut you down to pieces with all I could say and leave you lost with nothing. Whatever it takes just to win this. If I could break the silence.
I love his vocals. Yes! Yes.
Break the silence and throw it away. I'd cut you down to pieces with all I could say and leave you lost with nothing. Whatever it takes just to win this. If I could break the silence, if I could break the silence, I'd cut you down to pieces. My life ain't no repeat of what I'm causing. And leave you lost with nothing. Whatever it takes just to win this. If I could break the silence. If I could break the silence.
Oh my god. One, so incredibly catchy and fun and relatable, because there's a portion in here that says, funny how I'm painting the picture, keeping up the peace like I've been holding the trigger, holding on to words, but they keep making me sicker instead of fixing problems, only making them bigger. It's kind of like when you're in a relationship and there's a lot of things that are going wrong with it, but you don't want to break, as he says. I think there's a portion where he literally says floodgates. So what's it going to take if the dam breaks? Yeah, you can't keep it in place with the floodgates. It's kind of like when he says keeping up the peace like I've been holding the trigger. It's kind of everything is building and building and building and building, but it's like you don't want to open those gates because it's all just gonna come flooding out and probably end in a big garbage pile, metaphorically. And then holding on to words, but they keep making me sicker. So obviously, if you don't speak your mind, if you don't tell them what you need, if you don't say, hey, this is bothering me or whatever, it's like you hold on to it and it just festers and just makes you sicker. Instead of fixing the problems, only making them bigger, because if you don't address the problems when they happen, it festers and it makes it bigger and bigger. And then maybe those same patterns will keep repeating. And then because you don't say anything, it just builds and builds and builds until it's become this mountain of a problem. And it just feels like too much now to try and address because it's just built up. So I think the song itself is super relatable. I also want to give it to both of these artists, so Sleep Theory and Nevertel, for integrating so many artists into one music video that is literally 3 minutes and 5 seconds long. You have the rapping, you have the vocalist from Nevertel, the clean vocalist, who has it's really interesting because his voice, there's certain parts of the song where he does this very pop-esque riff, and it's very fun. And then you have the harsh vocalist, as well as the regular vocalist from Sleep Theory, and then of course the main kind of lead vocalist. I guess there's two lead vocalists in Sleep Theory, but I think the one that's kind of, whenever they take a picture, he's like the front man in a sense. He's in there, and his vocals, man, his vocals are they're so pretty, and then the grit that he can add is just like. But they added all of these artists into a 3-minute video while still making the song itself cohesive. Amazing. I really enjoyed that, so thank you very much for recommending that. I hope that you guys enjoyed my reaction to this. If you did, hit the like button. hit the subscribe if you want to see more. And I'll see you cutie patooties in the next one. Bye!